I want to tell you a story about a friend. We started hanging out in the beginning of the pandemic. We went camping and rock climbing together. During our time, we tripped together probably every 2 weeks or so. He was teaching me how to be a better climber. I was teaching him how to navigate heavy mushroom trips. It was symbiotic in that way. He clearly had some emotional baggage, and I thought that with the proper skills, he would be able to help himself work through it. In a way, I was right. In a way, I was wrong. After a few months tripping together, I became more comfortable in the thought that he could handle himself. On a fateful trip with him and my new girlfriend, we discovered that was dangerously not the case. It was the first time tripping with him that I took the training wheels off. What I mean is that I wasn't monitoring or helping to steer his experience. Over the course of the trip, it became clear that it was very uncomfortable for him, but it still seemed that he was under self-control. He was speaking clearly and coherently, expressing himself quite well, but out of nowhere, seemingly, he decided to get into his car and drive off, which, by the way, you should never fucking do. Mind you, we were in the middle of nowhere, and we had no way to get in touch with him. At first, we expected him to come back, but it soon became clear that he would not. When we were sober enough to drive, we went looking for him. Not long after that, I received a call from his sister telling me that he'd been arrested. Apparently, he had had a panic attack while driving, pulled over, and called the cops on himself. Though we were relieved that he was okay because it had been a terrifying couple of hours, we were mortified by his actions. More than that, I felt personally responsible for having not been keeping a closer eye on him. I felt like I could have been responsible for injury or death of others, which is never a place you want to be in. There were mistakes all around, but that day I found out that he was an addict and had been falling off the wagon during the time we had been together. He never told me this. Apparently, addicts tend to lie. It's not a knock on the person, it's just kind of comes with the territory. All of this was terrifying. This person who I loved, who I felt like I could have gotten killed, has also been lying to me for months about his life state. And here's where the moral comes around. I did not do my due diligence. The entire time together, I trusted him and did not pay enough attention to the person I was tripping with. This was completely my fault. I did not consider that this person could not handle psychedelics. I didn't look deeply enough into the person that I had taken as a student. I failed as a teacher, and it was irresponsible. On the other hand, he used that experience as his reason to become completely sober and has been since for the past few years or so. So at least that's one very good thing that came of it. Regardless, no matter how proficient you are with a substance, you don't know what's going on in someone else. You can never assume that they're going to do what's right for them. Our friendship endured in a way, but has never been the same since. We no longer share the connection we once felt, and that's sad for me. He's not the first friend I've more or less lost due to a poor psychedelic experience, but I'll be damn sure that he's the last. Just remember, psychedelics, along with your ego, can be dangerous, and they can damage more than just yourself. They can hurt your relationships. I want you to be careful. It's not all rainbows and butterflies.